Over the past couple of years, I've reduced the size of my camera collection from 350 cameras to 80. That's 270 cameras out the door. And while 80 cameras is still a lot of cameras, I was proud of the progress I've made to reduce the collection. So the last thing I should be buying is another camera. But guess what? That's right, I bought another camera. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sam. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you probably already know I'm a fan of large format photography. I have a number of large format cameras. I have the Intrepid 8x10, an Eastman 5x7, three 4x5s, and a second 8x10. For most people, that would be a lot of large format photography equipment. But when I saw this next camera, I couldn't resist. This camera was delivered a little over a week ago, and while I was super excited about opening it up, I thought it would be fun if we opened it up together, kind of did the unboxing of it, see what's there, assess the condition of the camera, talk about any future of the plans for this camera, and then discuss what it was that made this camera interesting to me and why I bid on the eBay auction. Okay, really am kind of going into this blind here. Let's open this box and see what we have. Sometimes I feel like when people do unboxings, it's maybe staged a little bit. This one is straight from the seller. I won't disclose who the seller is, but if you were the one selling this camera, just know it's going to a good home. So let's get into this and see what we have. Right. Okay, we got a nice little note here. Thank you, enjoy this piece of history. All the best. I can't read the description, but it's kind of a cool little postcard there. Little inscription on the back. I'll show a close-up of that later. And paper packaging. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Okay. Fortunately, looks like the camera arrived safely. Although, if you are shipping a large format camera, there are probably better ways to pack it. But we have the extension rail there. Get rid of some of this packing material, get it out of the way. A couple of empty boxes there for taking up some space. And let's see what we have. Okay, so like I said, this one comes with the extension rail, which is nice. And everything on the extension rail looks like it's good. And let me see here. Looks like all the wood for the connection of the extension rail is good. It looks like maybe one of the pins has pulled out a little bit. We can kind of assess that later, but extension rail does match up with it, and it does have the screw to tighten in the extension rail, so we can work on that in a little bit. This does have a Packard shutter in it, and the hose actually doesn't look bad. It's missing the bulb, but I've got some extra bulbs, so that's not too bad. See how the lock goes. This camera obviously has not been used in a while, but it looked in surprisingly decent condition. Maybe like it's been on display for a while, a little dirty and dusty, but definitely needs cleaned. But looks like the front to back adjustment is good. See if I can undo the lock for the rise. So the rise, the fall, looks like it moves freely. Again, really needs cleaned. The bellows look surprisingly solid, but we'll have to do a light test on those and check them for light tightness. It is missing the ground glass. I already knew that, and that's not a big deal. I've made ground glass for other large format cameras. I think I might even have a piece of glass, so it's not bad. But the hardware, everything looks pretty good on the hardware. I'm sure these bellows will soften up and we can certainly use them. We'll assess them for light leaks and such, but we'll be able to use them at least initially and see how it is. But so far, just the ground glass in the back that needs to be fixed. Undo the lock. This camera does have rear tilt, so that's nice. And it has rear, forward, and back adjustment. So that looks good. And it also has, it looks like, let's see if this loosens up, has rear swing. So not a lot of swing, but enough. So overall, condition does not look bad. Like I said, the ground glass is something I already knew that we would have to fix, and can make that easy enough. But really interested to get this camera cleaned up, get it ready to shoot, and put some film through it. One of the other pluses for this camera, if I can release the lens board here, is it came with a Packard shutter. So what that means is we'll be able to put barrel lenses on here and use the Packard shutter to open and close. It looks like, once I get the bulb fixed, that the Packard shutter is moving freely. So hopefully Packard shutter will work all right, and that's good. But what really interested me about this camera and what made me want to purchase it was the lens. So I don't know if you can see this. I will show a closer view of it. But this lens is marked, it's an f4.5 200 millimeter lens, but it's a Zuiko lens. And you might be familiar with this name. It's the lenses that come on Olympus 35 millimeter cameras. And I've never seen a Zuiko barrel lens before. And that's what really caught my eye. So, yeah, I just thought it would be an interesting camera to pick up, clean up, make a ground glass for it. And I'm going to take you guys along the way on this process. We'll kind of cover some basic cleaning of it. I might even show how to make a ground glass. We'll clean the lens. We'll test the operation of the shutter, and we will see if we can make some images with this camera. Yeah, it's a pretty cool camera. I'm glad it arrived safe. Stay tuned. So I almost forgot, there was some other accessories that came with this camera that I thought made it interesting. And while I was just getting ready to open them and realized I should film that as well, I figured out that the extension's got a little catch here. So once I push in that little catch, the extension goes right in, and then the screw will go in there and tighten up, and now we can use the extension. So this would be kind of nice. Stretch the bellows out a little bit. I'll be able to test them for light tightness, and yeah, just kind of check them out and see how they are. But let's just put this to the side for a moment and look at some of the other things that came with this camera that made it interesting to me. So move this right over here. All right. Some of this stuff I knew wasn't in the greatest shape, but we will assess and see what we have. So looks like we have a 4x5 holder. This is a plate holder, so dry plate holder. So that's kind of cool. We'll set that there. Some packaging. So this one is broken. It's missing a piece of the wood. But this is a plate holder, and it's actually got 2 plates in it. So I was able to open the bottom and just saw a little bit of the plate, and I closed it back up. I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss if there's anything on there or not. It would be kind of cool if there was. There's a good chance that it's damaged or maybe even shot. Let's see, what does this say? It says something in Adams County, New York. So anyway, another holder there. That one's kind of interesting. Have another 5x7 holder. This one says do not pull tab. Okay, we won't pull the tab, and it feels like it's empty, but looks like maybe a pack film holder. So I've got a couple of those for 4x5. Looks like someone did not follow the instructions and they tried to pull the tab. So my guess is if you pulled the tab, it would either come off or yeah, not sure what's going on with that. And then looks like a reducing holder for 4x5. So that's kind of cool. This almost looks like maybe a wet plate holder. I'm not sure. So anyway, yeah, that's interesting. So set that off to the side. This is kind of one of the things that I thought was cool. And it looks like they disassembled it. I'm not sure how this goes on. Maybe something like this. But if you've seen people that when they use flash, I say the olden days, but they put the flash powder, kind of hold it up like that, and then they would ignite, and that would be your flash. This is the actual holder, so that is pretty cool. I've not actually seen one of these. Before. Okay, so it looks like that goes on that way and tightens down, and it kind of holds the pan. So anyway, that's kind of cool. And then also there was this little memo book, and I saw this on the auction. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some pencil marks in it. Looks like somebody was maybe taking notes on their shot, F4, F5.6, 50 feet. Yeah, this just looks like notes from previous exposures. I'll have to go through this a little bit and see if I can see anything that kind of stands out. But it's kind of cool. I think it's always cool when you find notes from the previous photographer, maybe indicating what they shot, where they shot it, when they shot it. That is really cool. But I don't know if you can see this, but this memo book is just full of notes. from the person that shot it. So the little bit of research that I did on the lens indicated that it might be from the late 30s, maybe pre-war Japan, and that these lenses were used on Japanese military aerial camera photography equipment. So I'm going to dig more into the history of the lens. I don't think this lens came on this camera when the camera was new. I think it was mated up to the camera at a later time. So it'd be curious to try to figure out maybe how that happened. I reached out to the seller to see if they had any information on this camera. Told them my intentions were to restore the camera and use it, and that I would love any information on the history of the camera that they might have. So yeah, if I find anything out, I will talk about it in a future video. So anyway, thanks for coming along. Check back later and we will kind of cover the cleaning and maybe even making the ground glass for this camera. So thanks for joining me. We'll see you.